Toi. Okay, cool. Dun, 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 dun. Talk with me, episode 5, featuring Zach. Today's guests, we have
Simon.
and
Taylor.
awesome. Okay, so everyone's been making fun of you about like not having an intro, so that's me attempting to make an intro.
That was awful. That was awful.
It felt weird doing it.
We'll try again.
Yeah.
Try again later.
That's alright. Look, I think next week I just make like a little music thing. Garage band. Bit of, the drums, like.
You can probably still do it in the background.
Yeah.
Ooh,
we'll
that's a
think
good
about
idea.
it. Well, I'll
Yeah.
just like if anyone has any music that they want to do, a little 10-second snippet at the start of a podcast, send it to me. Yep. Cool.
Anything big, small, really.
Okay. I actually don't think I'm as flustered as I was about 20 minutes ago. Man, I was sweating bullets.
You were. I don't think it was helpful. Simon and I were like singing and like running amok around you, and you're like, I can't get this to work. What am I going to do?
I hate
But-
technology.
But we're here now. It worked out.
Yeah, it didn't also help that it took 45 minutes to set this up. It was meant to be this seamless.
Yeah,
You sit down, we're ready to go.
so Apple, if you're listening, I updated my computer and all my settings were erased. So, puck you, miss, because that's
Apple,
a joke.
sponsor me.
Yeah, or
Send me everything.
sponsor me, send me someone to do like the video production, editing, and everything else, and we'll
Yeah,
call it even.
cool.
But
Sure.
that's
I'm sure I'll do
45
that.
minutes I'm not going to get back. My
Yeah.
blood pressure's gone. I feel flushed in the face. Do I look it?
Yeah, you look a bit pink. You look like you had a glass of red. Not much to say to that.
Yeah, I
cool.
don't know what to say. Like, do I look? Is it a nice pink or are we
You're
just?
like blushing a little bit.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel the heat.
Yeah, well, 45 minutes, yeah, you should be feeling the heat.
Okay. Well, other than me stalling now, let's get to it. All right, episode 5. Good friends of mine, Simon and Taylor.
Hello, hello.
Like second fam. Yep. And I looked down when I said that because I didn't want to look them in the eyes.
Yeah, to look at the
Being vulnerable.
the cue cards, like second family,
Just had to add that in there.
friends.
Today we're talking about the effects of social media on society and communities, and I think I'm going to call these creatures of content.
Very nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have
There's
to
not
check
much
with you
say
guys.
about it, yeah.
Good, good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how are you guys going today?
Very well, thank you. Filming in the late afternoon. I can see the wonderful sunset behind you. So it's all good.
Gazes to
Yeah, I'm
behind
trying to say it, but yeah.
pitch
Can you see
black.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you don't really.
Oh, you can. It's
You
that
can.
yellow,
Thank you.
yellow smoke
Thank you. Thank you
Um,
for validating. I have
what?
glasses on,
from.
so I can, from eye candy.
Wow.
Everyone, so I can see
Everyone?
everyone. So I can see the sunset now.
and they're your personal glasses.
These are my personal glasses. I got them for Christmas for my lovely boyfriend. I was supposed to be wearing glasses, but I hated wearing my opticals, and so I rarely ever wore them. But last year I wanted these sunglasses for Christmas, and then Simon was coming to Eye Candy to get his eyes checked anyway. So I ended up getting these ones, and the lovely owners of Eye Candy hooked me up, and these are actually prescribed.
Yeah. Prescription.
Prescription, so I can see as well. So
See, I know all this terminology. My parents wouldn't give me a bloody job.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
rightfully
fair
so.
enough.
Okay, Four Eyes, your turn. I mean, Simon.
Funny that. I used to like call everyone Harry Potter and Four Eyes back in high school, and we wake up one morning blind. In Melbourne, actually.
Oh,
we
right.
went to a we went to United and Victory. We went to watch them. We were like pretty high up, and I was looking down, and I was like, I cannot see any numbers. And I was like, surely everyone else is not able to see it. Then like I ask Simon, another Simon next to us, and he goes, oh yeah, that's number 5 and number 17. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
booked it in, and yeah, we got the hookup.
The hookup.
So the hookup.
Thanks, Eye Candy.
Shout out to Eye Candy.
Sponsor drop.
And yeah, sponsor job.
Now back to the episode. No, I'm kidding. All right. Let's just crack into it. Effects on social media. When did you guys start using social media? And I'll start with Simon. Dun, dun, dun.
Very intense. I started on MSN, probably in year 5. Couldn't tell you what year that is. long time ago.
2008.
2008 MSN was fire. That's
You are Mr. 305 now that you said that. Year 5, MSN.
just cut that bit out. I don't know how you put those two and two together, but anyway,
Numbers.
yeah, just
Let's go.
numbers. Dale.
Mr. Year 5.
Mr. Worldwide.
Okay, MSN.
MSN
Yep.
would have been the first one.
Yep.
Followed by probably Facebook, maybe MySpace.
Mm.
I think it was MySpace. Yeah, that was kind of like that era. Facebook was mostly for Farmville and Fish World. That was about it for Facebook. And yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was probably it. There wasn't really much more to it with that. That was just how it was. And then obviously progressed. What was your first?
Yeah, I started off on MSN, but like MSN wasn't really a social media. It was like kind of, you just message your friends. So I wouldn't really consider that my first social media. I would say my first proper one was Bebo back in the day, which was so cool. I feel like we should have something like that again. But after Bebo, I had Facebook, and I got Facebook in year 7 after convincing my parents that I wasn't going to be irresponsible, and share everything, because back in the day, we didn't know what we were sharing online and what the effects were going to be. So I wasn't allowed to. And so yeah, year 7. And then I think I got Tumblr in year 7 as well. So those were my first ones. Did you have
Is that
Tumblr?
all for Tumblr?
Yeah, I had Tumblr as well. Tumblr was, before they made it PG, it was sensational. Shout out to Tumblr.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. It's awful now. It's just like cars and
I
It's
never
not-
used Tumblr. Or
Does it-
MSN or Bebo.
yeah. I don't know about MSN. How'd you not use MSN?
Dude, I wasn't allowed a computer. I didn't have a computer. I had a Game Boy Advance.
You missed out on a lot in life.
And
So like you
Nerf guns.
didn't go on the computer and play any games?
Nah, we didn't really
Really?
have one. Like, in all fairness, my family was never really good with technology. Like,
Yeah, right.
We were. I think I was playing those like
Evident from today. Definitely evident.
45 minutes later.
Well, it was. I had those CD games you put.
Yeah,
in
like the
PC,
Barbie one.
Well, I had Penguin and stuff. Pingu. Did you ever have Pengu?
Yeah, you send me Pingu memes like every week.
Yeah, that's my guy.
What's being good?
I'll show you afterwards.
Have you not Pengu?
Like Penguin World? Is that what it is?
Yeah, dude, it's hilarious.
No, it was like, I'm not sure if you remember, it was on like ABC Kids.
It's like a claymation thing. With
Yeah, it was like
penguins.
literally a clay of like this penguin.
It is
You know what?
hilarious.
It's better that you don't know.
I have to show you after these videos of like some of these people who've just done voiceovers, and
Once a week.
it's like English humor, like the In-Betweeners. It's hilarious.
Please be careful what you compare In-Betweeners to. In-Betweeners is the greatest show of all time.
Top tier.
Okay, well now that we're talking about top tier, I used Facebook in 2009. That's when I got Facebook.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
It's pretty early. So what? Oh, were you in year 7?
year 7, end of year 7, I got it. My cousin made it for me
Really?
because my mum wouldn't let me make Facebook because we didn't really have a computer used to make Facebook.
That was always the best when your older
Shout out,
cousins, when your older cousins used to like hook you up with that kind of stuff, all the
She set me
technology,
up and then didn't give me any of the emails or passwords.
any other
She's
credentials.
like, oh, did we make this? It's like, yeah, we did. And I was like, oh, can I get my username and password? Because all my friends are on this. And you know how you add people as like brother, sister. Dude, had
Oh,
all
I
these
forgot about
randoms
that.
and,
All
like,
of your yeah.
like married your friends and stuff. It was weird.
Yeah.
But it was so normal back then. It was like you could
So
tell who
normal.
was like,
Close.
yeah, and cool. It's like, oh, if you were brothers with this person, like, damn, like,
Yeah.
you must be popular.
I remember it was always tea when like someone would remove another person like from their sister, like the girls. Yeah, that was like the first online drama, I would say.
So I see you as a poker, Simon.
As a what? Poker?
Yeah, he sends poke. Simon poked you.
He would have been a poker, like
That was
that.
you.
Oh, that would have been you for sure. To girls you don't have on Facebook, you add them and then you poke. Absolutely.
Probably work 9 times out of 10.
Hate that.
Okay, so what platforms are you on now?
I'll just help you out. Instagram, Snapchat,
Facebook.
maybe Twitter.
Oh, you're a
I
messenger,
got
actually. Yeah,
Messenger.
you don't
I
have
deleted
Facebook.
Facebook. I hated Facebook.
That's true. I
It
do
got to
remember
like maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
that.
I just could not stand Facebook. It just made me want to just
Do a backflip.
Yeah, just hated it. Like you just look at it. Like there's a lot of opinions out there,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
feel like Facebook is like the whole world's opinions, and it's just of just stupid stuff
Yeah. No.
all the time about
people-
political stuff, about just anything, and you're just like, just shut up. And I just had to delete it.
No, fair enough.
Best decision I've ever made.
Taylor, what are you on?
I'm on everything. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, of course, TikTok, Pinterest.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
got a Tumblr. I don't go on that really, but I got a Tumblr. Hey. Yeah, on like anything and everything. Oh, I have like a Be Real, anything and everything that comes out, I'm on. But I would say like the ones I use actively is Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. Those are like my 3 I'm on every single day. What about you?
I didn't have Instagram for a few years, and I got it back when I started Walk With Me, and
Yeah,
then I
recently.
made my personal one in October last year, and that's been weird because I forget that I have it. Plus, I'm kind of self-conscious about posting things on it. Snapchat, I have just to film my dogs and my cats, and then I got TikTok because I started the podcast. That's interesting to see some of the stuff on there. What did I say? I got Snapchat to film the guys, Facebook. I never really got rid of Facebook. It was just mainly for events and to also run events and groups
Yeah.
through Walk With Me as well. So I can't really not use them now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Like I have a Facebook. I'm not active on Facebook, but I use it for like events and birthdays. I'm horrible with birthdays, so I literally only use that for birthdays.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm a calendar man for birthdays. Goes in my calendar, then I never
I
forget.
am now. Like as I come up on Facebook, I will put them in my calendar. But yeah, it's a work in progress. But I also feel like Facebook is just. I have a lot of relatives and stuff on Facebook that I wouldn't necessarily have on Instagram. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
They're on Facebook.
See,
So-
my relays are all Italian, and like we can't even talk
Exactly.
to each other, so we're just friends on Facebook.
No, same. All my foreign cousins. Like I have cousins in Germany and Turkey. Like I never spoken to them in my life, but Facebook.
Yeah, just delete Facebook.
I have
Yeah,
all
I
of
Just delete it. Just delete it.
this whole podcast is just Simon being like, delete your Facebook.
Mark, we're coming for you, brother. The Zuckers.
Trying to deactivate it is the hardest thing in the world. Like if you try to deactivate your Facebook, it's a mission. Like I have to Google it, and then because there's always updates.
Yeah.
So there's always updates. So it goes to the next different, like they'll have a different setting for you to go in to deactivate it, and then you go to deactivate it, and it's like, why are you deactivating it? Okay, other option, like you have to scroll through options. It just makes it such a hassle that I nearly went like, you know what, don't worry about it, I'll just have it. But then I was like, you're not winning, Mark. I'm going to delete it out of spite. Yeah.
On to you.
And I just kept going, and I just deleted. I was like, why is that so hard? Why is there not a button where we just delete Facebook?
Well,
When
Everyone would do it.
No,
And then
but
it's like, when are you back?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
are you? It's like, how long are you
That
going to
was
be
the
back?
reason.
Like, leave me alone. I just don't want to be on Facebook.
No, I find it weird when you try and deactivate from these accounts. It's like your reason why. I'm like, I think no reason is sufficient.
Yeah.
But I understand they're trying to get the analytics up. But the reality is, if someone's leaving Facebook, they're leaving regardless. Doesn't matter why they don't want to use it anymore. Whether it's like for relationship reasons or personal reasons or something.
Exactly. You're not
It's
going
like
to look
no
at the
means
list.
no. Like yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not changing anything. For example, obviously that many people have deactivated accounts. Let's say, want a break.
Yeah.
It's not like they're changing the mainframe of what it looks like and how it appears. It's still the same as from 2015 to what it is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You still scroll through your feed. You still got the post, the photos. And the difference is those random reels now, which my dad watches all the time through
On
he just-
Facebook.
Yeah, because that's all he's got. So when he watches it, it's like one funny video after another. So it's like watching funny home videos, but on your phone. So I can kind of understand why he watches it, but I don't really know what has changed with all these people that have left. So
They added stories, didn't they? So that's kind of
Yeah, but does it no? No one I know uses a Facebook story.
no. It's like it's like an older generation that use it. Like I reactivated it for like a few days. I had to do something, and I had to have Facebook, so I had to reactivate it, and I reactivated it, and then I kind of like went through just my stories, and because keep in mind I've not had it for like 5 years, so my stories are all like in college. And it's just such a different time and a different person, and everything is just like, I was like, wow, if this was on public and someone went through it, I'd get cancelled. Like, it was some bad, like, there was one, it's like, I don't know why.
On your Facebook.
Yeah, on my Facebook, I was like, I do not know any of you. Probably blur that out. I was like, I don't know any of you on here. Then another one was like, stop posting stupid. Like, it was just constantly just bits and pieces. Like, it's so funny, but I was like, I don't want this to be followed in 2023.
Yeah.
You're talking about statuses. We're talking about stories, like an IG story.
I was talking about
That's right.
He's old. He's
But
clearly
people-
not
I
on
remember people used
Facebook,
to
everyone.
communicate through statuses. I saw
status.
I started getting the reminders from Facebook like 10 years today. You wrote, and it's
Yeah.
like so excited for New York, and I was like, why did you do that, dude?
Yeah, some of the every time a status comes up, I look at it, I like screenshot it, send it to a friend, like whoever it's about, instantly deleted. Instantly.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
wow. I sound like Owen
Wow.
Wilson there.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
You sure?
it was like the most. Wow. It was like for a like for a TBH. Like those were the days. You could imagine
Yeah, but
AQ would have had a lot of those ones.
Shout out AQ.
AQ always used to
But
AQ would have been special. Like for a DM.
dude, the like for TBHs were rough.
Yeah.
I like people used to, you know.
TBH, I don't know you. Should get to know you more.
yeah.
And it's like
You
never.
seem nice.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, you seem nice.
It was weird.
TBH, I think you know my friend. Like what?
When I was looking at when I was looking at stuff for this episode, I was like, oh, I'll see what I've done, and I was looking through my wall, and it's like, you know, it's like MFK,
Yeah.
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 marry, puck, kill.
We were playing that before.
Yeah,
We played that
you
on the
guys were
daily.
playing that before.
Yeah.
And it was with like people I wouldn't even know.
Oh, there would
And I
be
remember people would blow up like, "What do you mean kill me? Like, do you find me ugly?" I'm like, "Oh no."
no. There was
Like,
nothing.
We're starting this conversation now.
Nothing worse when then like you were on your crushes, like someone posted on your crushes and you were in it and they'd kill you. Honestly, it was character development, but it hurt. It hurt at the time. Stuff you never had to see.
It was like low key bullying, to be
It
honest.
It was,
It
dude.
was
It
bullying.
was because like, and you'd be mad if you weren't getting pucked.
Yeah.
Married, no one cares about married. Just means you're nice. Like, nah, that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
enough. I need to get the
Yeah.
W, and people were getting upset about that. I remember, I was like, dude, why do I keep getting married? Like, I don't want to
Why
be
am I
married.
so
Why does the other
husband
guy get the
material?
puck? Yeah.
Yeah, it was always like that. And
I
then it
was-
was like the like for the DMs, and then like you'd go through, like say you got like 100 likes, and you have to literally go out. Like I remember you'd do it like before training, and then you finish training, and you've got like 100 likes, and you're like, there's no way, and you're just sitting there. Like it's insane that you think about it now, that you're just
Yeah.
messaging 100 people, being like, hey, and then 95 of them is just like a personality of a brick. So you're kind of like, see ya, and it's like, yeah.
I never, ever DM'd everyone that liked it.
You would
Never.
pick. You would pick.
You would pick. You maybe DM like 5 people. You're not gonna DM 100 people.
Nah,
What if like you know the what if those like what
keeps talking?
are those people that like you have on Facebook but you don't really know?
Give me the mic. I can't get a word in with it.
You have on Facebook but you don't really know them. Like what if they like it? You're not gonna be like, hey.
Yeah, but then if you don't DM everyone, then next time you post, you're going to be like, you know what, I'm not liking that post. So then what happens is your numbers start dropping down.
That was
So
never the case.
You don't want to do like for a DM and you end up with like shocking numbers. Because then you're like, oh, you know what, this is not worth it.
Yeah, but you're not gonna
it was just Facebook
message
pressures, like,
everyone.
that was the 11.
What do you mean? What? I was saying like year 8. What are you doing in year 11?
Could have been year 8, yeah. I don't think it was in year 11, actually. Now that I think about it.
Give the
Oh, you want
microphone
your
back.
mic back? Finally get a word in.
Zach's back on the mic. All right, let's do it. What was I saying? Okay, so that's like history.
Yeah.
Like we've just clicked Wikipedia, Taylor Simon, Zach's episode, Talk With Me. We've clicked the tab history.
Absolutely.
We've gone it. What's the relationship we have with social media now?
You go first.
Ooh. It's a love and hate. Mostly hate, I think. But I still go back.
Yeah,
So it's like
a toxic relationship.
Simon looks at Taylor.
Yeah. Well, it's, yeah. I don't know how much time's into to tell her you need the mic to speak, but it's fine. We keep going. So yeah, it's a love-hate, I think. Like, I go through times where there was a time where I had notifications pretty much turned off for all of them, which kind of gave me a bit of peace. And then I had to, I don't know, something's wrong with Instagram, so I had to restart, relog in and everything. So then everything else came back up, so I had all my notifications. And now it's like just too much. Because sometimes, like, even though you don't really want to go on it, it's just boom, notification, you look at it. Where before it was my choice when I kind of wanted to look at it. And I chose a lot of times, but at least I had that break. Where now it's just kind of like, with the notifications on, you just kind of like, you know, you go to look at one thing that someone sent you, and all of a sudden you're on there for like 10 minutes. And then from that, you're onto Snapchat. And then from Snapchat, you know, you might be over to TikTok, and then all of a sudden it's like this 30-minute thing, and you put your phone down, you're like, now I just feel like absolute shit because I shouldn't have done it. And then you just kind of, it's just like you just recycle it. And then you kind of look at like a reel or something of something, and you're like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then you click comments, and then all of a sudden one comment just absolutely destroys the guy or the girl that's done it. And it's just like, this is it just kills him with facts. And then you're just like, well, I just watched 30 seconds and now I don't even know what to think.
Yeah.
And then you go back and you look at the next comment. Next comment's kind of like, oh yeah, that's great, and like endorsing it. And then the third one is just slamming it again. And you're like, well, what is it? And then, you know, you're not going to go fact check it. So it's like, forget it. And I feel like that's very frequent now. Like you go in the comments and you're just like, this is like, you don't know what to believe. Like you don't know if it's right, if it's wrong. One saying this, one saying that. So you're just kind of like, yeah, it's just, sometimes you hear something and it's like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then you go to look at the comments and you're like, it's nonsense. That's it.
TV, you're up.
Yeah, similar. I think I have a love-hate relationship. I think mine, I'm on it a lot more than Simon is, I would say. Yeah, significantly, especially like TikTok. Once I'm on TikTok, I'm not off.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going on and on. But like, as you said, it's sometimes hard because you go on for kind of like an escape, right? Like you go on to, well, now it's like a habit. You go on whenever you have the time, or sometimes when you don't even have the time to go on it. But sometimes it's really good. Sometimes you see stuff, you see really positive, wholesome stuff. But other times, you know, your algorithm can be quite negative and your comments can be quite negative as well. Like sometimes if I'm watching a video, go into the comments and it's just, as you said, just slander, like absolute hate. But you look at it and you're like, okay, well, as you said, like, I don't know how to feel about that because I already made up an opinion of that video, or if I like that or something like that. But, you know, all these comments are going against my own opinion. So is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with my opinion? And I feel like, you know, that kind of sends me spiraling, not really spiraling, like not like an active spiral, but I feel like once I put my phone down, my mood is often a bit different because it's kind of like you can't really back yourself because what you had thought, you know, all these people, very loud people, have all of a sudden just disagreed with it. So I feel like it's kind of hard to find an identity anymore, if that makes sense. Like once you feel like you've got an idea of something, it just can completely be opposite. I think that's really hard. But you know, it could also be really positive. Like I send my friends a lot of TikToks and we send each other stuff that we both know we would like to see. So in that aspect, it's really, really positive. Like it's great, it's funny, it's what I like, but nothing will compare to like a 2019 TikTok, you know, when it was just not all these like people with their opinions and stuff like that. It was just funny videos.
Addison
Yep.
Rae dancing, pretty much. It was just Addison Rae dancing.
Yeah, and it was like,
It was like dancing.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like it upgraded musically and sometimes some funny stuff. It had like major Vine energy. But then you got your influencers on it and then your celebrities on it. And I think it just changed quite a bit. But yeah, so that's basically it. And then I have like Pinterest, which I wouldn't really say is a social media, but you know, that also has some influential aspects.
Yep.
That's like a more day-to-day one for me as well. But what about you? What do you think?
My relationship with social media. Well, I had Instagram, then got rid of it for 3 years, and then got it back for Walk With Me.
Why did you like delete your Instagram? Was there like a relationship breakdown with you on
No.
Instagram?
Not really with social media, but it was more so my relationship was just with people in general. Like
Yeah.
there was an assumption, like people assume things about people,
Yep.
and there was an assumption like around, like there's assumptions around people, and it was getting to me when people would assume things about me or would say things about me, or just there was a predisposition.
Yeah.
And not that social media provided them with ammunition to do it, because I still wasn't really posting much, but I was like, there's really no point giving people the ability to watch me and
Yeah,
comment
absolutely.
comment on me and what I do. So I got rid of it because for that reason.
Yep.
And then when I started Walk With Me, someone's like, look, for this thing to even grow, a text message isn't going to be, you need an Instagram, you need like to market it, you need to kind of like visually show people to kind of get around it.
Yeah, of course.
So I got it, and when I got it, I was like shitting bricks. I was like, oh God, here we go again. We're on this social media train. And the reason why I kept it, you know, kind of so low key, I guess, was purely on the basis that I didn't want anyone to see it was me, even though it wasn't me. And the reason why I like having Walk With Me is that it's got a mask. It's like my mask
Yeah.
instead of me. So I can post photos of other people. I can say funny things. And I'm like, it's not about me. So I'm comfortable doing it. And I
Yeah.
think that's right, because people can judge it all they want, but like there's a separation between me and Walk With Me. Even though I care about how it's perceived, it's not like, oh, this thing sucks. It's not saying, oh, Zach sucks. Like that's a different thing.
Yep.
So that's why I got rid of Insta, but then I obviously recently got it back at the end of last year, because I'd been told by a few people who are influencers to essentially, I need to create
Yeah.
a character that people go, hey, this guy's all about, you know, mental health and wellness and getting outdoors and like being vulnerable and stuff. So I've I posted a photo because 7 of my friends, as soon as the account came up, reported it to Instagram, and the account got shut down within 45 minutes of me having it, because everyone's like, Zach doesn't like social
this
media.
isn't Zach.
Yeah, so I had to post a photo to prove that it was me, and I had to message like, man, so hey guys, like I'm on Instagram. It's
It's
not a
me.
random, because I was getting messages saying, Zach, someone's pretending to be you, and I'm like, no, that's me. It's
And
like, where do you reckon they got the photo from? Yeah, like literally.
Yeah.
But then I rarely use it. I think I'm going to use it more so to kind of interact with people that I want to like meet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's one thing that social media gives you the benefit of, is that you get to kind of interact with people.
Mm.
Not even like, and obviously with people you already know, but people you want to get to know. And it sounds really weird, but like, you know, like dating is like social media is a great way to do that, because it's kind of like you get to see their profile, and intimacy is that you get to message them. And because these reels and stuff are on there, it kind of exposes your sense of humor. And you can do a
Yeah.
background check of who their friends are and be like, oh, they're mutual friends. Do I, you know, like, it sounds bad, but there's an investigative process behind this
It's so bizarre.
that you're not given, like you're given the opportunity to do it. So, my relationship with it now is more so, it's kind of just meh. Like
Yeah.
it provides me information to do the podcast, to see what people want from Walk With Me, to expose both
Yep.
these things. And then when I grow some, start talking to people on my private account, because I haven't done that yet. But yeah, that's really my relationship now. It's not too bad, but I can see how it affects people.
Oh, absolutely. And there's always like the comparison as well that comes with social media, which I forgot to like touch on before. Like even if you don't have it, even if you're not interacting, like you're going to see other people in their life, and people always post like their highlight reels, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're always just going to compare your life to people's like, you know, 1 good minute of the day, let's say. And so, yeah, it's just hard.
Yeah, like with Instagram, if there was a way where we could go like a private Instagram where you can have like 50 of your close friends that you know won't, you know, talk too much, and it's kind of like you can just go there and it's just post every day, like, I don't know, just something like just raw, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like every single day stuff, and then that way I think it'd be so much more enjoyable because then at least you can laugh, you can post. You're not really thinking, oh, what's this, what's that. Like, you know, today we could have posted 45 seconds of the 45-minute debacle of you trying to set it up, and
Yeah,
like
crying.
then next, like, you know, 6 months later, if I ever look back through my like Instagram, it's kind of like a private Instagram.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
kind of look back and you can just have this moment and you're like, oh my god, that was so funny. Where now it's kind of like I don't think I've posted a photo for like 3 years on Instagram.
Yeah.
Purely not because of anything, purely just because I don't know. I just
What?
haven't really thought.
But do you, like, I don't take photos of myself, so like, do you take
Yeah,
photos
but
of yourself?
we've got a few photos now from like events and stuff. So I'm gonna have to start posting because I'm probably gonna get because I'm on it like very frequently. I post a story every now and then, usually when United beat someone. So I haven't posted a
Very
lot.
rare.
I haven't posted a lot. But that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna try get back into it a bit more and just post at least so that way. Obviously, for some of the friends that are still out there, they can at least see what's going on. But I guess like Snapchats is usually, I just feel like we've got all these social media platforms, but like I feel like I'm losing touch with a lot of
Yeah.
like friends,
Yeah.
even friends that were like not. You didn't have to be like best friends, but friends, you know, they might have moved, they might have done this, they might have whatever the deal may be. I just feel like it's kind of all getting out of touch, and it just could be because, you know, you go on Instagram and it's this guy in Dubai with a Bentley, and you're like, wow, I can't post that. So you know,
Yeah.
so it kind of
It's like,
like
what's
the
the point?
comparison,
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. If I'm not at the beach with a gorgeous bod, right, with a fresh tan, with like a margarita in my hand,
You're
what's the
failing.
what's the point in posting? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's like, it's the fear of judgment, which is do you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, it's like, oh, if I don't have something of quality to show,
Yeah.
what's the point of doing this? Like, if I'm not,
it's not even judgment. It's kind of like it's not interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no really,
I know what you mean,
like
but then
there's no
I-
point of posting it. Like it's kind of like
sent
it's
you-
pointless.
But I sent you a video today, right? And the reason why I sent you a video today is because I want to talk about it. Of
I
this
hope I watched it.
this guy, Taylor will know. This guy who's in Sydney, he's like minor influencer. Obviously, won't mention his name. He's in Sydney, and he gets invited to things, gets sent free like parcels and stuff. And it's him like filming himself getting ready, and like it's not like he's wearing everything like anything cool. He's just put on this like mix max tracksuit on, and he's doing a dance while he's doing it, and he looks like frazzled. And
Get ready with me.
And-
They're all the rage.
but it's like, mate, I'm not watching someone like, oh hey mate, I'm gonna film myself. I brush my teeth. I do it for 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I don't do anything with my hair, and I'm gonna see whatever's clean is whatever I wear. Like, no one wants to watch those videos,
yeah.
but that's kind of what he's
I
doing.
watch them though. Like on TikTok, I love a get ready with me video. Like, let me watch you. Let me see your morning routine.
But like, no one gets ready. Like this guy's like set the camera up, and he's like, dude,
Yeah, just on that, I think it'd just be a fake one as well. Like, there's not going to be
Yeah.
a raw. Like, he's not actually going to wake up and do exactly.
Yeah.
I can do a more get ready morning video, and then if it's like a raw one where you're actually tumbling out of bed, walking around doing that, it's different.
Yelling, get out of the house. We're late.
like,
Screaming, hurry up, hurry up.
but like, I'll have music playing, I'll sing to the
Messaging me,
music,
calling me.
and I'll get dressed.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it.
It's
Yeah.
that's me getting ready. Like even getting ready for this afternoon. I
Yeah.
was singing "Viva La Vida" by Coldplay. The lyrics completely wrong. And I was singing, and I was like, "Yeah, this is awesome." I was like,
Yeah.
put my
Well,
GoPro.
hopefully with this, they can kind of go back to that raw sort of material where everyone can just post, where everyone just posts normal day stuff again, rather than
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we have to take it away from the influencers
Yeah.
a little bit, because I feel like they have it so bad, and then there's a lot less influencers than there is normal people, like everyday people
Yeah.
that can post stuff that it's just, like you post, let's just say a photo of Braddon, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, this is not the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's the equivalent to them.
David
like,
Dobrik
for
is in the
us.
Bahamas. Why would I just look at his story and your?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like,
Yeah, I
it's
know.
just not interesting.
Yeah,
so
'cause it's-
irrelevant.
Yeah,
I guess.
because it's relative to you.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant.
Correct.
Because you're not doing what they're doing, and
Yeah.
that's what's like. Talk with me. Everyday people talking about everyday things.
everyday people.
Except you guys.
Jamie's not here today, but
Yeah, he's Jamie's not
surely
here.
someone knows who Jamie is.
That's a reference to Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's crazy how you haven't watched or listened to podcasts.
Well, I have listened to some of it, but like,
You like starting a podcast though, like it
but
is.
yeah, but I
it is-
don't want
he-
to do this. Like, he's so informative and everything like that. And it goes for like 2.5 hours. My attention
Yeah.
span's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it's not about informative. It's about just trying to see what he does and learn.
Yeah, but I don't have this. I got somewhat of a studio, but I
You've
need,
got this is a six studio.
Here's an ad. Right
Probably
now.
best studio in.
We need
Southern
cameramen,
Hemisphere.
editors, and whoever's willing to do it for pro bono. And then when we make it big, don't worry, it's all good.
Yeah, but I'm sure he started with it. It's just like,
Mate, this guy was a millionaire before he started the podcast.
oh well, step up.
Yeah,
Not-
you're right. I got 999. I'm nearly there, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Well, going back on topics of relevance, I reckon we start talking about something that we spoke about at dinner.
Yeah.
You guys cook a lovely dinner. This is like the second family I have
Thank you.
dinner with
Thank you.
every fortnight.
Okay.
Taylor cooked the chicken risotto
Okay.
with mushrooms is insane, and the cookies. But we were talking about
The Kardashians when you came over for dinner, and like it's hard to talk about social media without talking about them because they did create social media and they had such a like influence on social media. But specifically, we were talking about the new Kardashians trailer that came out for season 3, and in it, Kylie Jenner literally says, to her sisters, she's like, we need to have a big family chat about, the beauty standards we're setting. And the fact that she doesn't want her daughter, because of course now that she has a daughter, to have to feel the pressure that she felt to change and modify her body. And it was just like, okay.
This is ridiculous.
Like, I completely understand. Like, she's a mother, she has a child to look out for. But arguably, like, as social media influencers as big as the Kardashians were, they almost had like a duty and a liability to all of their followers. Like, they were influencing millions of followers. So yeah, it's all good to say now that they want to, change the beauty standard, but this beauty standard has been around for like 10 years and it's impacted a lot of...
It's easier to change the beauty standard once you've already made
Yeah,
$1 billion,
retrospective.
and now it's like, oh, let's change it. Like it's.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
it's
so-
just like, well, was this all a joke to you? Like, the past 10 years, like, females went through so much, they modify their body so much, and, like, she's talking about, like, oh, I didn't want to have, like, I don't want my daughter to have to do the things we did. But, like, this was the girl that was actively lying about getting lip filler. Like, for so many years, she denied the fact that she had lip filler, and we're all out here buying the beauty lip kits when she came out with them, the first 3 colours, putting them on, and we're like, I don't look like
Plot up.
Kylie. What's happening? Like, I just can't believe now that, after the fact, and, you can tell that they're obviously modifying their body a bit more, like,
Do you think they'll get
reducing-
cancelled? Well, not completely cancelled, but I feel like now,
They've lost their relevancy, I think,
Yeah.
quite a bit.
because I think what happens, the beauty of like this generation, I guess, with all the negative stuff that it has, I guess the positive is if something's like really bad, doesn't matter who it is,
They'll call
like,
it out.
they'll just call it out and
Yeah.
cancel it.
Yeah,
like-
well,
Everyone is scared not to get cancelled now.
yeah, exactly. So they get cancelled every second of every day. Let's be real. Like, you can have an opinion of them. I can have an opinion of them. Like, if people are going to share it, it's just going to cancel of the day. But I think with the amount of influencers you have, especially like TikTok, I feel like TikTok is like the main influencer page. And I saw a TikTok a while ago, and this girl was talking about how Kylie did like a similar, like a get ready with me. And, she was like doing her makeup and getting in her Lamborghini. And people were like, this isn't relevant. Like, this isn't relatable. And TikTok now is about, connecting to people that are relatable. So like, unlike
Yeah.
Instagram where you have like the Dubai and the cars and the, expensive lifestyle, TikTok, you might fall into that algorithm, but generally it's everyday people. They might be influencers, but like they're doing things that you and I are doing, or want to do. And they were saying
Jump
how...
in a Lamborghini.
Yeah, they were saying how her inability to, connect and be relatable is going to be the downfall of the Kardashians, because now the content that we want to see
They don't
is,
have.
is changing to that relatability, and they just don't have it. So like, as great as they were, like obviously they've become A-list celebrities from their social media presence, but now they're just not it. And you can continue.
I think it's speaking of like of not being relevant and not being cancelled, we also touch base on like Ronaldo at the moment and potentially Messi. Like that is, you know, the second he just did one or two things that were like, you know, questionable, and all of a sudden you've got like one of the, you know, arguably the greatest. I'll always argue a few other people, but like arguably what he did was just sensational. Like the influence that he had every single day, waking up, doing it, like just to be the best. All of a sudden, he goes on, you know, a podcast or the show to pretty much expose the directors of, or the owners of Manchester United, and all of a sudden he's like cancelled. Everyone's like, he's just completely cancelled. He's gone to a different league, and now he's like nearly irrelevant, which is just ludicrous. So I guess with that, like drawing that back in, it could happen to the Kardashians. Like I know that they're so big and so iconic, but it just seems like, is Ronaldo going to be relevant in 5 years? Who knows what's going to happen in 5 years? If like if people are like off the Kardashians, or like, you know, then what happens then? Like it's just a different.
Okay, so this is my theory. So since like the rise of these TikTok stars, right?
Yeah.
Who were
TikTok stars.
Stars. I'm tripping. Like they were everyday kids,
Yeah.
young people, right? Then due to their exposure, they've become massive, but they're still everyday people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what TikTok has done is that they've provided that there's some relevance with some of these people that like,
Yeah.
oh, it gives everyone the idea that they could be the next
Oh,
star.
absolutely.
You can't be the next Kardashian. Like that's just not happening. Can't be the, I mean, it's not impossible to be the next Ronaldo, but it's one of those things where you need to start doing at the age of 6, 7, 8, and you don't
Way
have that
earlier.
awareness.
Yeah.
So, but you can be the next, you know, influencer. Like, you know, and when I say influencer, I mean like not Kardashian-esque, but big enough to be recognized by a large portion of social media users.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think that's what works in the favor of these young guys and girls is that because they're relatable, because they've just randomly, like, they've done one funny video or one,
Yeah.
they've cooked one cool meal or they did one day. I never really understand the dancing thing. I don't see the appeal.
Went off, like, it just went off. Like it was.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it was like the every single day thing was just a new dance, new dance, new dance.
I didn't get it. And being a guy, like, I'm not a boy's boy at all, but it's the fact that I just wouldn't be comfortable doing a dance, filming it, putting it up there, and that's your social
It
footprint.
gave us some great memes though.
It's never, yeah, but you know what I mean. It's never coming off.
Yeah, it's always there.
So that's one thing that
Like
I'm
the footprint is always
conscious
there.
of. Yeah, your digital footprint is following you till you die, and then
Yeah.
your kids will get it, and then your grandkids, and so on. And the footprint of my grandparents is like either them playing sport or their marriage photos, or them being on holidays. It's not them doing dances to Beyonce and like making fun of other people online, because that stuff doesn't go.
Yeah.
So,
But like, if this is our generation, imagine what their generation's gonna be like. Like,
well, yeah. Like, do you see like, I haven't seen any Barbie dolls, and I had this conversation with Mum the other day. Like, I
Barbie
don't see dolls anymore, or like really toys at the toy section. Like, I used to play with figurines.
Yeah, it's Coco Melon. That's why.
yeah, Coco. Do you know what Coco Melon is?
No.
It's like this online. So I have a little cousin, everyone, and she's quite young. She's 3 years old, and she, from a young age, like, Coco Melon was their age, and Coco Melon was created by like a family because they didn't like the content that was available for their children to watch. Like, they weren't into the Wiggles or Teletubbies, and so they developed like this YouTube channel, and it's this animation of, yeah, just like a family really, and they just sing songs and whatever it may be, but they also have like visuals in the videos. And so like my cousin, when she was maybe like 1.5, she'd keep saying like, she couldn't speak properly, but she'd keep doing like these motions. We're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? She knew sign language from these shows.
Yeah, she's
She
just
learnt
doing.
she learnt the signs,
Yeah,
and
she's
she was
just
trying
doing
to
little
say it to my family, and my family obviously, like, we just don't know, like, so, you know, if their generation's already doing that, like, you know, what are they going to be like?
That's why you don't see Barbie dolls,
That's why.
because everyone's got like a Coco Melon or a Paw Patrol.
Yeah,
It's like a different era, I guess.
100%.
Okay, well, there's one bone. I don't have a bone to pick with you, Sime, but I think there's one thing that you can resonate, and obviously Taylor, being a girl, I think you could obviously have some pretty good input in this too. Is one of the trends that I've noticed, the Kardashian one, is this stoicism, or this attempt of stoicism from young men following breakups, and treating breakups as a significant loss. And some of these kids, you know, are anywhere between like 16 to early 20s, and they're treating a breakup like they're the next Marvel Avenger. Like they've got to be big and strong.
like
Do you know what
the-
I mean? Like all these, and I'm like, I'm
The
going to the
villain
gym
stories.
because my heart's broken. I go, what?
Villain stories.
Yeah, but so I don't understand that because
Villain stories, yeah.
what they do is that they portray this image that no one cares about them, right? But they're doing it, and to acknowledge that no one cares about you, you need to be upset, right? That's you acknowledging your feelings, and then you act in a way that no one cares about you, but you're acting in the interest for people to start caring. So
Yeah, attention seeking.
it's just not what, but it's counterintuitive to what you're trying to achieve. And as a guy, like I don't understand what you're trying to do. Like, oh yeah, mate, like,
I think it just started off as a joke. Like I remember being,
but it's too much.
it was like a laugh, like at the start, and they kind of like started posting it, and it's like this, it's that, and then yeah, now it's like a
Well, it's like I'm calling, like, this is me calling out all guys right now that if you're going to the gym and trying to do things to kind of make people notice you, the way to,
she's already gone, bro. Forget it.
well, and he stares right
She's
down
not
to the
coming back.
If
barrel
you
of
did
the
it in a
camera.
relationship, she would still be there.
But it's the reality is like
Jesus.
you're upset that no one acknowledged your
Got
emotions, or like
TikToks after
you know,
that.
like people break up with you and stuff. That happens to everybody. So I get that I've been through my breakup, so they suck. But the reality is if you want people to be more conscientious of your feelings, you need to be more conscientious of everyone else's, not ignore yours and everyone else's, and then play tug of war with someone till they break. That's not how you get people to work. And yeah, the way of like emotional development isn't to go to the gym and hate on everything. It's to let everything kind of attack you emotionally and kind of realize, all right, let me deal with these feelings. And that's where I think social media kind of strays a lot of young guys the wrong way, because they're passing on the message to each other, like,
yeah, absolutely.
and belief systems. Like social media is initially designed to communicate, keep people in touch, and promote, and then turns into like a marketing scheme. And now you've got guys saying, you know, lift and believe in God. Like they're pushing their belief systems on you, but they're telling you to be whoever you want.
Yeah.
You can't tell me to be whoever I want, but then say lift and pray. That's not telling me to be whoever I want. And
Yeah.
so what you're advocating is, you know, for every guy to be their best, but you're telling them how to do it. Like it's counterintuitive to your process, and until you understand that, you really got to stop posting that material.
I actually think that might have started from Andrew Tate when he said, like, he was kind of saying that sort of stuff. So I think that's when all this lift and pray and all this forget about, you know, just that sort of section that you pretty much just touched on.
Controversial guy.
I think, yeah, definitely. Let's not touch too much into him, but that's kind of, I feel like that's where all this sort of stuff started. And now, I don't know, look, I don't know if it's helping it, I don't know if it's good, I don't know if it's bad, but like you said, it's
I feel like that's just the danger of social media, though. So like, you might have something that works for you, and great if it works for you, fantastic. But you don't have to then influence, right? You don't have to share and you know, kind of almost push this system that you believe in. Like some people, you and I, Zach, we're very emotional people. So you and I, we like after a breakup to dwell in our emotions.
yeah.
We want to feel everything. We want to heal that way. But there's other people, let's say in this room, who don't
Four eyes.
necessarily, you know, they're not quite as, you know, emotional as you and I would be. So Simon, sometimes, and you can touch on this as well, your probably go-to when you're upset or something like that is shutting out and then working hard. And you might have that gym kind of mentality a bit more, but it's not like you're going to go online and push it and influence it.
But do you resonate with that?
yeah, kind of. I guess it's not just particularly gym, it's just kind of just the focus. So I guess you kind of just Sorry, guys.
I was in the way of the camera, my bad.
They were just trying to do so subtle, and Taylor's like,
We were getting so deep, and then I'm just getting these like
Disaster.
finger point. I'm like
sit in
there's
the
no
middle.
one next to me.
what are you wiggling
Oh,
around?
move.
for?
It's gonna be straight in the
So
Yeah.
I'm leaning completely opposite way now.
Yeah, it's just I just kind of like just move on and just focus on the next thing. So it's kind of like there's no like I just don't see the point in dwelling on things.
No, I
Like, obviously, I understand it's part of emotional healing and all that. You know, learning about emotions now.
yeah.
But yeah, it's understand that there is a process to it. But I just like if you can't like, there's no point sometimes in dwelling in things. The more you dwell on it, the worse it gets. Like,
No, exactly.
it's like there's no benefit to it. You're better off just being like, okay, cool, that's what it is. What do I need to do next? And then at that time, it might be focus more on work, focus more on your friends. I don't know. Maybe you want to. People, I understand. Like people do go above and beyond, and it just becomes
Yeah.
disgusting, I guess, because then, you know, all of a sudden they're doing, I don't know, just challenges, all this sort of stuff, and it's like all in your face all the time, and all of a sudden you haven't heard anything for like 3 years, and all of a sudden it's just all in your news feed. It's just, you know, it's like you'd know that there's agenda behind it.
Yeah, and that's yeah.
If you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. And going back to the whole like dwelling in your feelings, it's one of those things where you acknowledge them, you kind of figure out like a game plan to deal with them, and then you move forward with that. Not sit there and be like, why is this happening? It's this is how I feel. Here are your options. You know, what door you're going to open and walk through. Whereas now I feel like there's a bit of stagnation because guys, so like there's, I don't know, obviously it's the algorithm because I'm a guy, but the videos I see is that there is no other option than to go into the gym, womanize women, and try and become more masculine than the man next to you.
Yeah.
And that, like, to influence guys that are driven by feelings to not feel anything. Yes, that sentence really doesn't make any sense. To do that does not create a positive environment. A positive environment is to become aware of the person's feelings, acknowledge yours, and don't let that flow on to the next person.
Absolutely. You're kind of influencing toxic masculinity
Yeah.
all over again.
And
Like, I feel like the past generations have really tried to break down that mentality, and it's bringing back those beliefs. It's like, you should do this. And I think that's why people have such a problem with controversial podcasters and influencers, because it is just promoting that kind of negative lifestyle. And, you know, as you said, it's pushing this agenda of you want to look like this, you're going through this is what you have to do. You know, just push it.
Actually, I have the funniest thing to tell you guys. So I watch these little crypto kids, Iman Ghazi, whatever his name is. He really frustrates me because I know that he's got a big lack of social. He like has all my female friends, I've slept with them, and so they know they're my friends because I'm never going to date them. Like, okay, you aren't Prince Charming, and you like that's just such a weird thing to say. This other guy, his name's Sebastian something. Again, made a lot of money off crypto, and then now does like affiliate marketing. So all this cyberspace. And he's on a podcast, this guy in America. I can't remember his name, but this guy, slightly overweight, pretty dry, and is on medication for depression and anxiety. And the guy goes, like this young kid, Sebastian, he's like 21, 22. And he goes, you need to get off your medication and just get a six-pack and your life will change.
That's a quote from someone though.
Yeah, but
Andrew.
you know what I mean? This guy says it, and the guy goes, a six-pack is not going to change my life. And I go, dude, the audacity for like the adrenaline that went through my body then when I watched that video.
Just the anger.
I want to grab that kid and shake him and be like, what's your relationship with your family like? How many friends you got? Because I don't see any videos of you having friends. I see videos with your girlfriend that you have so much emotional investment with that if she were to break up with you, you wouldn't be saying this stuff.
Save you.
Yeah, dude. And that's what I mean. So it's so funny because like, yeah, all right. There's Robert De Niro has this quote. Be calm, be cool when everything is good. Be calm, be cool when everything's bad. This guy is like riding on his high horse because he's making a lot of money. He's got financial freedom and he's got a girlfriend. Let's just say the girlfriend leaves him for an average looking guy with average income.
Even someone with more money.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Let's just say she goes against the grain of what he believes in. What's going to happen to his head then? It's going to fly off. And he's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to be better. because and where's his support network of his friends? And that's one thing I've realized with these people is that these guys, these young kids who have made a lot of money, and credit to them, I'm not discounting that, so like please don't think that, but the matter of the fact is they're not teaching you how to maintain relationships with people at all, whether it be girlfriend, friends, or another thing, and you don't see them with people unless it revolves around drinking and partying. And the people that are around you with drinking and partying are not the people that want to be around you when you're sober. So if that doesn't tell you enough, just as any young person, like, oh cool, he's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of money. He's got no friends, bro. And if you have heaps of money and you got no friends, what's the point of having heaps of money? I always tell people this, that it's all, well and good to be as successful as you want and go as far as you want. But if you have no one to share it with, like, who are you going to turn to when you make it to the finish line and be like, hey, I made it? Yeah, yourself, cool. But you do get over yourself, and sometimes when you spend too much time with it, it can be pretty, like, time with yourself, it can be pretty dangerous. And I've gone with everyone, I was like, I'd rather be half as successful as I want to be and have people that genuinely want to be there and, like, nice. Like, you spoke about doing this, and you've done it. Awesome.
But the problem with, like, that nice is there's no such thing, like, as we went back on, like, a positive vibe. There's no more of positive vibes. I feel everything is a negative vibe now. Like, everything is, why is this, why is that? So it's not really, like, why does he have a better car? Why does he have this? Why does he have that? There's no, like, you go back to, like, helping, like you say, you go to the gym. It's not really, like, people trying to help each other. It's kind of like,
it's a competition.
Everyone just kind of thinks, they're just all over in their heads. Like, no one's really doing anything anymore to kind of help each other. Kind of like the old, where girls used to comment on each other's pics, being like, oh my God, you're the greatest, you're this, you're that.
It's gone.
It's not even genuine though, but I don't know if that's still happening. I'm not really sure. But
Sometimes, but I feel like social media and everything, and it goes back to that whole comparison. Like, me personally, I really lost how to be a girl's girl because my whole life, everything I saw was a comparison, right? Like, I can't be happy for this girl that looks good when she looks better, or she's living better and whatnot. And it, like, obviously that's changed. That comes from, like, personal growth, but it's hard. And I feel like social media pushes you to, like, it makes you so lonely. It makes you lonely. And it goes back to that whole thing. It's like, oh, who needs friends and this and that. This is already a generation where it is quite lonely. But if you go in with that mentality of, I don't need people around me, I just need myself and my money, great. But you're going to buy, a super yacht, and who's going to be on it? Just you and the
paid influencers.
Yeah, paid influencers. So, yeah, it's an interesting,
it's pretty scary because, like, I feel like when we were, like, just even at uni, we were a lot more connected than, like, we've got, like, friends that are at uni now, and they were just so much more connected than what they are. Like, it was, let's go to the library, let's do this. Like, half the time it would be a social thing rather than actually studying. You'd get everyone there. You'd have, like, our uni group pretty much, and shout out, yeah. And it would just be a good time. And now I kind of see, like, when you just kind of reminisce a little bit, you don't really. It kind of, there's gaps. It's kind of skips. Like, I've got like college where we used to hang out with a different set of friends. Then uni, kind of that sort of group, and then there's just kind of like a blank. Like, I hang out with people, but it's just not. And it's just the further we get along, I feel like the less it is.
Yeah.
You're not really constantly seeing people, and if you don't, like, stop playing sport, you don't get to see, like, the guys, SJ soccer. So it's just all.
Yeah, and I feel like social media, it goes to, like, that whole loneliness and the isolation, but then you also have like that, COVID isolation that also impacted it as well. So I feel like, already an isolated and lonely society, we're getting pushed a bit more. Like, as you said, they couldn't go into, like, I met so many of my friends in classes, and so even you, like, I met you at uni, and even, like, work, like, it's really hard to, like, connect with people at work because 3 days a week they're working from home, and maybe you see them 1 day a week, if that. And, like, so how can you be, like, a personal group person? No.
And work, what I find funny about work and just relationships of the past couple of years, that, like, no one's happy doing what they're doing. People, so going back to uni days, you couldn't get a job I remember people asking me, dude, I need the resume for Cafe Guru. or like I'll take a job at Big W Kmart. Like they're the places we're all talking about applying when you haven't got a degree, because
Anything.
dude, it was impossible to get a job. But when you had a job, you were the man. And then when you had like you were working at a cool place,
Yeah.
like you were just an elite person.
Yeah.
I hate using elite person. Oh my god. But just like, you know what I mean? People are like, wow, like they work there, and it's like, yeah. Whereas now there's an abundance of choice because no one wants to work. That no one appreciates work anymore. So when you're at work and you want to have a relationship with someone at work and be like, hey, you want to get coffee? Best we don't. Or I'm going to work from home. Or like people start operating on their conveniences and how it makes their life easier. And because there's a vested interest there. Obviously, there's vested interest to earn money and improve yourself and get a promotion, whatever. But there's a vested interest there now to like rot the system that's in place to benefit your life, because you're looking at these people's social media and you're like, they have an abundance of freedom. How do I utilize the time that I have to create that freedom?
It's crazy how it all links back to that one topic of like just back to social media.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of comparing that section and you're like, why am I working this job when this guy's literally on a yacht and he's no smarter than, comparing yourself, you're no smarter than me, not this, not that. So why is it there, I'm not there? And it just always just kind of goes back to it.
Yeah, it's insane. And you see people, and they obviously just post the good in their lives. Like, you don't see, as you said, like, if you had a cool job, like in high school, all I wanted was a job at Hoyts. I wanted those 50-cent movie tickets, you know what I mean? But now, like, we have, like, young cousins and stuff like that. Like, they don't even, it's just not a thing. Because now you look on social media and you just compare. And it's just this whole comparison of
It's just irrelevance as well, because like if you're working at Hoyts, you're getting movies, that's cool, like now.
Yeah.
But then again, you've got TikTok stars
You're not in
that
Dubai.
are driving a Lamborghini,
Yeah.
so you're like,
Absolutely.
I can't do this when this guy's driving a Lambo.
Yeah.
So you're just like, the thing is, it's why and what's the point? There's no more why.
It
and
is
there's
what's
no
the
more
point.
What's the point?
Yeah.
You wake up and you're like, what's the point? Like you speak to anyone else, you're at work, you look at every single other person at work, doesn't matter your department, their department, you can kind of just see it, that the question everyone is asking at the moment is, what's the point? And no one's got an answer.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes to social media because, like, you look at people and no matter what they have, no matter how lavish their lifestyles are, no one's winning anymore. And I feel like it's just, social media is really showing that. Like, you have your A-list celebrities and this and that, and even they're getting cancelled. So you're literally...
Like, what is the point when you become an A-list celebrity?
100%.
Like,
and it goes...
You were at the top. Why are you getting cancelled?
It goes back to Ronaldo thing
Insane,
as well.
Like, what more can you do?
What more can you do?
And you get cancelled.
And, like, you just become irrelevant.
Yeah, like, you just become... Yeah.
And it's so sad to see. And it's even, like, with the Kardashians. Like, the Kardashians can get cancelled. And it's like, what's the point of having the American dream? What's the point of working hard, making money? Because even if you work hard and you make money, you still haven't made it. These people that you've grown up, like, idolizing, for me, obviously, Kardashians, I really like pop culture. So anyone in the pop culture area, they were like idols to me when I was growing up. They were the people I admired. But, like, now they're just not the dream anymore. Because, there's always someone better, someone richer, someone more fashionable, someone cooler. And it goes to, like, Ronaldo as well. I can imagine the boys, who follow football will also really idolize him.
Yeah,
just, and for what now?
Him. Just say it's you just discredit. Like, you can't. It's hard to, like, when you're in that era, like curly haired, like the curly haired Ronaldo. You can't discredit him. He was just a different breed. But then again, now it's like, oh, what is he doing? Where is he? Like, he's irrelevant, cancelled. It's like, it goes back to, like, if you're not relevant, doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter who you are. If it's not relevant, you're cancelled. And if you're not cancelled,
you're not cancelled. You're just irrelevant. Yeah. So you've lost your structure of your life, and it's so disheartening to see as everyday
you should
everyday
change
people.
The podcast name. What's the point?
What's the point? It's as everyday people, like, we can go to work and we went to uni and this and that, but realistically, what's the point?
I guess what's the point at the end of the day would be, like, when you hang out with your friends that you don't see, like when we hang out, and it's just different. But you take that away from, like, the following, not even, I don't know if it's generation, it's just how things are at the moment, where people don't really hang out as much. Like uni for us, was like I had a fun time at uni. Like it was
Uni was like
pretty
the
much like
best
great,
time.
yeah. Because you meet so many people that I like. If I didn't actually attend any class, I didn't go anywhere, did it all online, I would not know probably 70 or 80% of the people that I associate with now. I would say,
Yeah.
like, so that it takes away just a full aspect of different minds, different people, and it kind of keeps you back with that original, your high school friends and
Yeah.
kind of then. And I don't even know what high school's like now. I'm sure it's probably awful. But, yeah, I don't know. Something's going to change, but it's probably not going to be anytime soon. Like a bit of positivity, maybe some help.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Talk with me. We're here to change
That's
the
good.
game.
That's
I'm
a good
here. I've started this to change it all. I'm in the.
Zach Pino, the man. He will change it all.
Okay, someone clip that. There's no one else in here other than three of us, but I make it sound like I'm gonna add some like claps, like yeah.
The man. Woo.
But
No, it's what I like is that the relevance, and you know what pisses me off, and not much does, but the fact
are
is
you
that
sure?
yeah, depends how I'm feeling, but the relevance of things like what is relevance is, hey mate, like this is how you can live financially, free at this young age, and the relevance is to maintain relationships because relationships get you through a lot of different things. The relevance at the
Difficult
moment
times as well.
is these people who are doing these dances that are making that are in these houses filming each other. Oh, we just played beer pong. Whoa, like dude, that's not relevant. Like there's other than news, but again, news can also be kind of. That's another thing. I was telling you guys a study about depressing news gets more people listening and viewing, which is sad in itself, but it's obviously it works. But relevance of how to study, how to make friends at uni. Like if someone told me, hey dude, my advice to you is go to class because these are the people you're going to meet. Like if you had a crystal ball, like if you got told you do this is what happens, I'd do it. And there are people out there that can provide that advice that should be given the time of day to provide
To actually
the
help.
relevance.
Yeah.
Not, we're doing beer pong. Like, that's not relevance. Like, I didn't go to one uni party. Like, uni parties don't really exist. Like, you go out. I don't even know if clubbing's a big thing anymore. I've been clubbing for years, but if that's huge. But
Something relevant would be I need to confront my group in uni to tell them how you need to do your part of your assignment.
Yeah.
Rather than throw a ball in the cup.
or deal with a tutor and, like, how to
Yeah.
communicate with the tutor if it's not working. Or, like, if you're not doing uni, like, what are your other avenues that you can
Study
do?
tips.
Yeah, like,
You
or...
know, lifestyle tips.
relationship
What can you do?
tips,
How can you maintain money when you're studying, when you can't work that much?
So it's like...
Yeah, even just just little life tips. It's obviously it's not like we've hacked life or anyone hacked it, but you can't really get that message across to help, like, because uni can be like when you start, like it was scary, like
But you got no idea what you're doing.
you don't know what you're doing, you don't know why you're doing it, you're like, is this the right thing? You've got all these classes, you've got everything is just mayhem, you don't really know like the timetable, and then you've got all this freedom at the same time. So then you kind of feel like, okay, am I studying, am I wasting time? There's no one really to help you with that, but sure enough, someone can show you how to do a TikTok dance. That's relevant.
Yeah. But
We're not hating here on TikTok dance.
No,
Like,
we're not.
happy that they're making-
We're just kind of spilling the
we're
beans.
just they're happy that they're making all the money and they're finding a way of living, but it seems like they're happy and then everyone else is just miserable.
Yeah, and we brush off another topic that we won't go into now, but I think we should do like an episode 2 of this. Because I think this is it's such a big beast, this whole content, social media thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a cliffhanger. So we're
Can you
gonna do an episode.
Do you want me to write it down or you got it?
I've got it. Yeah. This guy sees me struggling with technology and he's gonna make sure I'm doing my job.
But you are a pen and paper guy.
Yeah, I am a pen and paper guy. Okay, but I think maybe the next time we talk about this, we talk about professions. And you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Struggle.
Yeah. So
There should be tips on that.
being on struggle street, even though you've kind of worked really hard not to, and then some people being in a fortunate position based on the way they look or who they know, that they end up not struggling as much, even though you've been taught your whole upbringing that they're the type of people that will struggle. And we're not going to mention
Yeah.
names or platforms
Yeah.
yet, but I think the next one
Mm-hmm.
we definitely will.
Yeah,
So-
even like the
This-
careers is probably like a hard one, and not that we said something we've got it
Down
figured out.
pack, but we just
But at least, like, when we go back to that, college, university, I feel like there's a massive struggle there where you don't really know what you're doing, like, all the time.
shout out to the Journeyman episode
Shout out to
2.
German. Like, that's something, but then again, is that even going to be relevant,
Yeah.
like, so it's,
So
so it's like, is it going to be entertaining to listen to it? It's not, obviously, like, if we do it, but it's not like something that can trend.
yeah,
This is how it is, because you got to think about it. How many people out there are actually just sitting there being like, this is a disaster. Like, I can't make a TikTok dance. What am I going to do now?
Yeah.
I can't do this. Like, I can't influence. I actually have to tackle the real world.
so
Yeah. Also discrediting. I think also when you've done everything that you think you should be doing, and you finally get to a stage, and it's
Yeah.
not what you thought.
okay. All right, and this is your trailer.
That's our
for-
cliffhanger.
This is your trailer for episode 2.
Yeah.
So episode 5, talk with me, creatures of content with Second Fam
Woo.
Simon.
And Taylor.
and Zach, and hope you're all having a lovely day when you hear this. Take care, and ciao for now.
Bye bye.
See you later.